Again. We're sorry. Due to content restrictions, this stream is not available in your area right now. Please. Ice and try again. We're sorry. Due to content restrictions,
Sweets.com. Both free throws good. It's now a 1-point game at 47-46. Straight away, Ford for three. It's unsuccessful. Jovic shows the rebound. And here comes Miami looking for their first lead of the evening. Puck is on the right wing, three-point range. Tries to feed a pass to Robinson, broken up by the Kings, but then Robinson grabs it back. They feed inside to a cutting Hawkes, drops it off to Peterson. He hands in turn to Robinson, rejected by Keegan Murray as he tried to attack the rim. Kessler Edwards in transition, gives to Keon, baseline right, Euros in a lane, and converts to the left hand and scores. Nice sequence right there by Sacramento. It looked like Miami was going to get a great chance to get their first lead, but the Kings denied them. Here's another strip. Kessler Edwards knocked the ball away. It's grabbed by Ellis, runs in transition to the free throw line, reaches in with a twist and reverse. It's too strong. And the rebound is cleared by Miami. Long lead pass up the floor for Drew Smith off his fingertips out of bounds. And now the Kings will get the ball back.
Keon had Keegan wide open for a three there and didn't see him.
Ford brings the ball across the logo, favors the left wing, three-point range, dribble handoff to Edwards, swings now to Murray. Out to Nimi Keita, just inside the arc at the right elbow. The big fella drives it inside, up and under reverse. Show off your ball handling skills. Nimi Keita, the 7-footer from Portugal, who played collegiately at Utah State.
That was pretty.
51-46 Sacramento, and a ball stripped by Keon Ellis on a drive by Orlando Robinson, and out of bounds, still Miami ball. But just right when it looked like the Kings were reeling a little bit, they came up with a couple of really nice defensive plays. Jamari Bouye now going to make his first appearance of the second half for Caron Butler and the Heat. Almost 3 minutes gone in this third quarter. Robinson gives it up to Hawkes straight away, 17-footer. No good. Rebound. Keita. Ahead now to Ford. Cruises on the left wing, waits to balance the floor. Gets a screen from Nimi. Starts right, goes left, pivots, feeds it back to Edwards. Goes inside now to Nimi. Turns for the jump hook and converts it. Nimi Keita, nice rhythm, and a good find by Kessler Edwards for the assist. So Keita now has a quiet 6 points, and the lead is stretched back up to 7 for Sacramento at 53-46. Hawkes gives it up to Jovic, now to Robinson. Orlando knocked away, steal, Keon Ellis, grabbed by Keita, gives it ahead to Ford, cruises into the front court, drives, kicks, Ellis up fake for three, he drives it inside, scoop comes up short, partially blocked over the shoulder. That was an instance where he should have gone strong rather than try to scoop it, because the defender was able to get over his shoulder and get a hand on it. Corner three fake by Peterson, gets in the paint, pivots, kicks it out on top. Jovic on a defender flyby, launches the three and hits it. The flyby was by Keon Ellis. Jovic now has 15 points, 53-49. Keegan Murray driving aggressively in the paint, draws a foul coming down the left side of the lane. And he's going to get to the free throw line where in the first half he knocked down 7 of 8. Before the free throws, we'll get a timeout taken here. 5:54 to play in the third quarter. California Classic action. Always good to have you with us for Kings basketball on the Kings Audio Network.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new play. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Nothing is every day.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clear skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Sacramento, get ready for the launch of Flex Power Tools at Fastener's Tool Outlet. Come on down Saturday, July 15th for a one-day Flex Tool launch party. Witness live demos, score unbeatable deals on all Flex products, and get a free 3.5 amp hour 24-volt battery with every kit purchase. Grab a rear handle saw kit with a free 10 amp hour battery for just $299. Power up with Flex at Fastener's Tool Outlet. Don't miss it. Saturday, July 15th at 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Back at Golden One Center, we're reminiscing. Henry Turner has just checked back in. We heard from him in the course early in the pregame show in the hour with Scott Marsh before action, and now he's got a headset on and reminiscing about your Summer League experiences. Tell us a little bit about it, man.
I mean, Summer League is fun, man. I mean, I understand what these guys are going through. For number one, you're trying to show what you can do out there. You're trying to solidify your place in the NBA. And then, it gives you a great chance to measure up against some guys. I know a lot of these guys is like, hey, I want to try to measure up against Keegan Murray. This dude was on the all-rookie team, so he can play basketball. If you can measure up against him, you can play pretty good ball.
Keegan at the free throw line got 1 of 2 in this sequence coming out of the timeout. Kings lead by 5, 55-49. Getting close to the midpoint of this third quarter. There's a travel that wasn't called. It appeared there. A little bunny hop on the part of Jovic, and then he skipped a pass cross court that went off the hands on a deflection out of bounds. It'd still be Miami ball. 2-possession game. Orlando Robinson on the left wing in three-point range. Dribble handoff. Now they come to Jovic on the near side. He Euros into the lane for the little floater off the dribble, and it's good. This 20-year-old can play. There's no question about it. We're back to a three-point contest.
Yeah, and he just turned 22. I mean, for that body size and his offensive ability, he's impressive.
That's 17 points in this one now, and the Heat are within 3 at 54-51. Keegan away. He'll try to get 3, and he does. Keegan from downtown. He did it 206 times as a rookie, which was an all-time NBA rookie record last regular season, and he just nailed his third triple of this evening, and he's now got 23 points. 57-51. Sacramento now 7 of 17 from three-point range. Here's Bouye trying to challenge inside, and he has his shot blocked. Getting a hand on it was Jake Stevens in transition. Keon Ellis, left side of the floor. Starts to probe, pulls it back, keeps the dribble alive. Now skips it over to to Colby Jones. Now they get it into the paint. Stevens, he tried a backdoor pass on a cut by Kessler Edwards, and it didn't work out. And the Kings turn it over for a 14th time. Great defensive play. Keon Ellis took the ball right out of the hands of Bouye as Bouye was driving inside. They set up the alley-oop, but Kessler Edwards can't finish it off for Sacramento. And the Kings now retreat to play defense once again. Great defensive play, but they couldn't cash in transition. And off the bounce on the far side of the floor,
Alondas Williams, he just checked in.
Alondas Williams is a 24-year-old out of Wake Forest. Here's a nice post-up opportunity, and Keegan Murray scores in the low post. They give him 25. 57-55. Lotus Williams, when he scored, that tied the. Did he tie the game? Yeah, he had to have because there was a 3. It was got a whistle here and a foul and an opportunity here for Miami. Trying to. The scoreboard once again had the incorrect score at the moment. And that's why I was wondering if it had been tied, because they were indicating Sacramento with a 2-point lead after the Keegan post-up basket. So let's regroup here. It's 59-55. I think we got things squared away now in favor of Sacramento.
And I could be wrong, Jimmy, and I'm keeping the running score here. I actually think it's 59-53, but we'll see.
Oh, okay.
See if it gets adjusted.
Well, we've got Robinson has got a 3-point opportunity. He made a bucket in traffic, and he gets the free throw. So the scoreboard says 59-56. That's what the computer says. Television graphic, I think, says it's 59-55. So we're confused. But then it wouldn't be Summer League if we couldn't be confused once in a while. Williams of Miami just picked up a foul. Ball on the side for Sacramento. Seeing some substitutions here for Miami.
Yeah, this is a chance for the Kings summer team to really make some hay right here. You've got some second stringers, some little more deep looks for Miami right now.
There's Keegan now at the left elbow area. Dribble alive. Spins now. Digs toward the paint. Shot clock at 4. Got to create. Skips the pass out and right into the hands of anticipated Bouye. He drives. He's fouled. And he scores. And that's one of those plays where Jalen Slauson is now saying, oh, I wish I could do this one again.
He took an awkward step there.
Yeah, he's
Jalen Slauson
sitting down here on the on a chair at the baseline, and he looks like he's in some discomfort on that chase down by Slauson.
Ooh. He stepped on
He's walking back out here.
He stepped on that right foot, G-Man, as he got ready to go up, roll that ankle over pretty good.
Looks to be walking pretty well and kind of get in a few steps here before he heads toward the free throw line. And now he has a chance to tie the game. And we're fairly confident we've got the score correct here at 59-58. The free throw is good, and for the first time this evening, the ball game is tied. Let's see how the Kings respond. Bring the ball up the floor. Sule Boom. He's on the left wing in 3-point range. Got all kinds of cutting and action. Pass goes to Keita. Back now to Boom. 8 on the possession. To Colby Jones. Can't get a shot on the left wing. Good defense. And then he throws a pass right into the hands of the Heat. Looking for their first lead. Driving inside and getting the score. Jamari Bouye. And Miami has its first lead of the ball game at 61-59. They scored 8 unanswered points. Kings now have Jamie Keita at the right elbow area. Gives it up to Keegan Murray. He'll stop and launch and score. And the lead goes back to Sacramento. So we get our second lead change. Keegan had 29 on Monday. He's got 28 now. And that three-pointer puts an end to an 8-0 Miami run. There's a drive and a bad pass. This time the steal by Sacramento. But then it's stolen right back. Bouye took it away from Boom. Boom, baby.
Yeah, I believe that was a foul that didn't get called.
Here's Kane launching a right angle 3 for Miami. He puts the Heat back on top. I think they may say it's a 2-pointer. Now we got a whistle for a foul. Flop being called here. Bouye is called for the flop. So we had it called one time in the Monday game against the Warriors. This is a new rule that's being implemented for the first time in Summer League play. And if a flop is called, it rewards the other team with a free throw. Now, initially, 2 nights ago, it was, according to the paperwork from the NBA, it was free throw and possession. That was amended today. And Henry, I know you had a chance to talk to veteran official Leon Wood about that whole scenario.
Right, exactly. He was explaining to me that they took the possession away. You still get the free throw. But another thing that they added on, too, is that you can't review a flop. If they call just a flop like that right there, they can't review that. But if it's within a play an actual foul, they can then go back and look and see did someone else flop. So it's still a work in progress, and they're still tweaking things, but that's pretty much it.
What I found interesting there was it was Jamal Kane who was shooting at the three. The flop was called on the shooter. So he was the shooter, and he basically just fell down afterwards trying to draw a foul, and they called a flop on him. And they've had the flop in college basketball, so that's why I knew the motion right away. The referee will make a motion almost like he's welcoming you in and offering you some food or something like that.
But that's the one, Bobby, that they can't, review that one. But if it was a foul, then they can go back and say, okay, the guy that set the screen also flopped.
Well, we'll all learn as this progresses. We have an opportunity here. We want to remind you, you can lock in your ticket plan for the upcoming season. Place a deposit to secure your priority to select upper level seats and choose between 3 different 10-game plan options. With limited seating remaining, visit kings.com/10-game plan to learn how you can lock in your priority today. After the turnaround success of the Kings last season and all the remarkable things that happened, season tickets have been a hot commodity this summer. The technical foul shot has been converted by Keegan Murray, so give him 29 for a second consecutive Kings Classic game. He's 8 of 16 from the floor, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. From the field, he is 4 of 8 from three-point range. So the Kings go back to the other end of the floor to put the ball in play. Nimi Keita now with a dribble handoff to Keegan. Gets into the middle of the paint, ball knocked out of his hands, then he controls it, feeds it now to Colby Jones. He drives, he kicks. Here's Sule Boom for 3. It's no good. Off the left side of the iron and rebounded by Miami. Heat in transition. Here's a strong drive into traffic and too hard off the window on the part of Melendez Williams. Kings come right back. Colby Jones drives it end to end and scores. Very much under control, but he took it strong and then laid it off the window and in to make 65-64. Sacramento back on top here with 1:20 to play in this third quarter. Got a whistle here and a travel call from Adam Scott, who is in his 4th NBA season. He's a South Korean who has found a home in the NBA officialdom ranks.
Well, he's put in his dues, man. I've seen him over the years at the G League showcases and summer leagues and now established firmly in the NBA.
He made the call there that results in turnover number 13 by Miami. That's 4 less than Sacramento. Here's another Keegan 3. And once again, he rings the bell. 32 points for Keegan Murray. And that's his 5th three-pointer in 9 attempts. 68-64. Kings lead by 4.
Well, I think it's safe to say the chains are off Keegan Murray.
So the Heat bring the ball up the floor. We're in our final minute of the third quarter. Bouye now finds Gardner on top. He'll try for 3, and he scores it. That was a nice lean in from the 6'11" undrafted Marist University player. Heat back within 1, 68-67. That was the 6th three-pointer they've made in 15 attempts. They've struggled all night long from the field. Murray gives it up on the far side. Ball fake for 3 by Slauson. Back to Keegan. Another 3 on the way. This one's no good. And the rebound cleared by the Heat. 25 seconds to go in this third quarter. Heat down by 1. It's 68-67. USF's Bouye working against Sule Boom. Drives, finds a second defender in his face, kicks it out to Gardner. Drive and a kick. Peterson up fake for 3. Poe goes into the lane, kicks to the far wing to beat the buzzer. The 3 is good. Knocked down. And Williams coming up with a steal, trying to force a shot to beat the buzzer that ended up being an air ball. And it's going to be Sacramento ball. Maybe that may have been out of bounds on the far side, but only 1.8 seconds for the Kings to go the length of the floor. Now trailing 70-68 after that triple. Inbounds pass to Nimi Keita. He launches to beat the buzzer. The 3 is no good. Nimi was not exactly the person you would expect to be getting the ball coming up the floor with a chance to beat the buzzer, but his 3 was no good. So we'll go to the fourth quarter, and the Kings are down a bucket at 70-68 on the Kings Audio Network.
Craving something sweet? We've got you covered. Crumble has a rotating menu with over 175 flavors that change out weekly, and all Crumble cookies are made fresh daily. Download the Crumble Cookies app to easily gain loyalty points you can use towards future purchases. We've got your cravings covered, and now it's easier than ever to earn loyalty points. So download the Crumble app today and start earning. Follow Crumble on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook to be kept in the loop on weekly flavors, giveaways, and mouth-watering cookie content.
We all do a little trash talk on the court, but now it's time to call out some real trash. Litter. Let's block litter and other pollutants like bacteria, auto fluids, and yard chemicals from entering our waterways. You can assist by picking up after your pet, taking care of your car, and using non-toxic pesticides. It takes a team effort to keep our highways and waterways clean. Visit cleanwaterca.com. That's cleanwaterca.com for more ways to get involved. Brought to you by the Caltrans Stormwater Program.
Joining a trusted not-for-profit credit union means even more for you. More than just checking and savings. It's access to your money whenever you want it. More than just low-cost auto loans. It's doing more of what you love. It's empowering you to be more for your community. This is more than just another financial institution. This is Golden One, where you get more, so you can be more.
I see 6 guys out there.
All right, we got 10 minutes to go here in the California Classic, where Miami has taken the lead over the Sacramento Kings 70-68. Jovic has 17, Kane with 11, Keegan Murray to lead all scorers with 32. Keegan stays on the floor to start the fourth. Well, we thought so. That was the 6th King. So, G-Man, now they got set up with 5 Kings on the floor.
They tried that the last game, right?
They did.
It's twice now.
Sacramento with the opening possession against some pressure. Jordan Ford has played 16 minutes, has scored 2 points, has just 1 assist. He does have a couple of steals, but not nearly the contribution that he had on Monday in the win over the Warriors. Here's Kessler Edwards driving inside and he scores. Little left-hand flip and scoop coming toward the iron. So that ties the score. We are even at 70 apiece. 5 lead changes, 2 ties now. Miami outscored Sacramento in the third quarter, 30-21. Here's Kane getting into the paint, pulls up for a 12-footer and scores it. I've been impressed by Jamal Kane on a couple of occasions in this game. Kane, not great numbers, but he's 4 of 7 from the floor, now has 11 points. Becomes the second double-digit scorer for the Heat. They regain the lead at 72-70. Nimi Keita now looking for a dribble handoff to Kessler Edwards. Looks left, now drives it right, spins to his left, picks up the dribble and lobs it back out with 5 on the clock to Ford. Ford being pressured there by Williams, runs into a double team, gives it up, got a desperate 3 to beat the buzzer, and it's good. Knocked down by O'Connell out on the deep right wing. That was a thank you very much type of play. Here's a steal by Ford, but then the Miami Heat dig it back. They go inside. McCoy running to the rack, scores it. In the game for the first time, Brandon McCoy, a 7-footer out of UNLV. And Miami regains the lead at 74-73. O'Connell now at the free throw line, passes up a 16-footer, gives to Ford, driving a kick. O'Connell in three-point range now feeds it inside to Keita, and Keita is fouled. That was good ball movement, Bobby. Something we haven't seen in recent possessions from the Kings.
Yeah, we mentioned at the halftime they had more turnovers than assists, and looks like they're trying to share the ball a little bit more right now, and you figure there's going to be more offensive looks for different players with Keegan off the floor, and so Kate is going to go to the free throw line. He got hammered by McCoy there. McCoy's interesting because he was a McDonald's All-American. He was a big-time high school player that was a one-and-done at UNLV, and it just didn't quite work out for him.
Keita misses his first free throw opportunity.
He's been floating around, has McCoy.
If Keita makes the second free throw, he has a chance to tie the score. It's 74-73 Miami. We're early in the fourth quarter. Both free throws are missed, and Miami gets the defensive rebound. Miami now spreading things out a little bit. Pass on the right wing, and the ball is grabbed by Audish, and they go inside on a drive, and Nimi Keita is there to reject the attempt to create a basket off the dribble. O'Connell has it, gives it up to Ford. He's going to step into a 3. Looks good, but comes up off the front rim short. Leaking out. Here's the long lead pass. Came to the rim, uncontested. Great look up the floor. And Miami has opened up a 3-point lead. They're up 76-73. 7:45 to go in this one. Ford off the dribble. Pocket pass goes to Keita. Nice ball fake. Goes inside and hammers it.
Beautiful screen and roll action right there between Ford and Keita.
That was really nicely done. Good execution. Back to a 1-point game. Heat lead it. They've got the ball. 76-75. Working with the ball is Masner. Masner now gets into the paint. Feeds a no-look pass in the low post. Unable to convert is McCoy. Kings are on the run in transition. Here's Kessler. Euro stepping into the lane. His floater rolls around the iron, and it's no good. And McCoy comes away with a rebound. Opportunity missed to regain the lead at close range. Jamal Cain comes to the near side now to Williams. Williams now going to step back. Feeds a pass in the post, broken up by the Kings. Keon Ellis knocked it away. Ford has it, gives to Kessler Edwards. Drives into traffic and scores. It almost got away from them, but the Kings regained the lead.
That was one of those, okay, good.
77-76 in favor of Sacramento. Off the dribble, pull up 17-footer straight away. Missed by Audage. And Sacramento with a rebound. Keon Ellis initiating from the right wing. Goes inside to Keita. Keita tries to go strong. Is denied inside. Battles, gets it back, and then draws the foul. Good persistence on the part of Neemias Keita that time.
How many times did he get fouled there, J. Ross?
I had it at 8. Unofficially 8 fouls on the play.
Wow, yeah, those first 3 didn't go called. It was official's choice there.
I think the last 2 was assault.
Nemi missed both of his free throws just moments ago. Let's see if he can knock down 1 or 2 here. First one was a line drive that rimmed around and rolled out. No good. Kings are now 14 of 20. They had a good free throw night going until recently. We're going to get a timeout before the second free throw taken by Caron Butler, the author of his autobiography called Tough Juice. And then he wrote another book that was released last year called Shot Clock. 4th year as a member of the coaching staff after a 14-year NBA playing career. Now as the Summer League coach of the Heat. This is the Kings Audio Network.
NBA fans, the upcoming season is just around the corner. When it's time to get tickets to catch the Kings live, you'll find the widest selection available at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Sacramento Kings and the NBA. Even when the game is sold out, Ticketmaster can get you in with 100% verified tickets sold by other fans. So whether you're catching the Kings live here at Golden One Center or on the road, you can find tickets at Ticketmaster. Plus, with mobile tickets, you can easily transfer tickets to your crew, so getting in on game day is a breeze. When it's time to get tickets, head to Ticketmaster.com/NBA.
Looking for a sweet treat to grab on the go? No need to bust out the flour, sugar, and baking pans. Order some Crumble cookies. Choose to receive your cookies through curbside pickup, takeout, or delivery. Fill up a 4-pack, 6-pack, or party box with delicious flavors from our weekly rotating menu of 175 different flavors. Order delicious gourmet cookies on the Crumble app today. Follow Crumble on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook to be kept in the loop on weekly flavors, giveaways, and mouth-watering cookie content.
Whether you're heading to Golden One Center to cheer on the Kings or going to a friend's house, be sure to follow the Go Safely game plan. If you plan on drinking, have a designated sober driver. Need a sober ride home? Use public transit or a ride-hailing service. Don't let yourself or your friends drive impaired. As you head home, be mindful of highway workers. Remember, flashing amber lights mean move over to the next lane if it is safe to do so. Choose a sober way to go and be work zone alert. Go safely, California. From Caltrans and the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Well, we have remaining in this one just under 6.5 minutes. Sacramento is leading by 1, 77-76. Keita at the free throw line for the second one. Quick reminder that getting help for your mental health is slam dunk with Cal Hope's free resources. You can call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org. Cal Hope, official partner of the Sacramento Kings. Keita got the second free throw, so 1 of 2 to give the Kings a 2-point lead. Miami comes right back now. Here's a drive into traffic, kind of an awkward attempt at making a shot, and it is missed by McCoy, and he banged into Keita in the process and was called for a foul. That wasn't real pretty.
No, it wasn't. Actually, McCoy's minutes have not been stellar.
He had played in Serbia and in Belgium and in Puerto Rico, but based on what we've seen in the couple of minutes he's been out here, I see we'd be hard-pressed to make a significant contribution. Here is a drive by Keegan Murray, gets into paint, sealed off, swings it out. Here's O'Connell for three, and he nails another one. That's the third one that O'Connell has scored for Sacramento. In fact, he's perfect on the night, 4 for 4, including a two-pointer. And Alex O'Connell now has 14 points in 8 minutes.
He's
doing making a contribution.
Yeah.
81-76, two-possession lead. Here's the drive into traffic. Has the ball knocked away. Great defense by the Kings. It's grabbed by Keegan Murray. Gets away from the defender. Finds a wide-open Keon Ellis for a corner three. He's got the triple. And the Kings have stretched it now to an 8-point advantage. Keon Ellis knocking down the three. And once again, it was a case of terrific defense sparking that push. Kings have scored 11 straight now to open up this 8-point lead. They trailed 76-73, and they just forced another turnover. Keegan on the run in transition, hesitates, Euros into the lane, and gets fouled hard. Crashing into him, I believe, was Brendan Masner. Keegan bounces right up, but he's going to go to the free throw line. He scored 32 points. He's 9-11 at the free throw line. He'll get 2 more chances right here. And while we're making note of a couple of numbers, how about Nimi Keita for the second consecutive California Classic game, coming up with a double-double. Keita has got 10 points, but now the computer says 9 rebounds, so maybe they just took one away. We had him down for 10. Jason was all over it, too. He had the note ready, and so we'll have to wait and see here. Keegan hits the first free throw. Give your young Kings fan a summer to remember. Sign him up, him or her, for a Junior Kings clinic. They get to work with the best coaches in the region while having a blast working on their basketball skills. Visit kings.com/Junior Kings to register for one of the Kings Junior Clinics. Keegan hits 2 more free throws, so he's 11 of 13 at the line. He has 34 game-high points. And the Kings have now scored how many, Jason? 13 unanswered?
That's it, yep.
86-76.
And the Kings a little bit smaller right now with Jalen Slauson actually getting some minutes at the 5 spot. He blocked the shot earlier.
Had a foul call here on Sacramento that's going to put Jovic at the free throw line. Mentioned that he's a member of the Serbian national team, and we pointed out earlier he's just turned 20 recently, and he's got a lot of skill. And we have seen it at different times tonight. Jovic with 17 points currently, and make it 18 as he hits the first free throw. Yeah, he has a very nice touch on the basketball. Heat have been a terrific free throw shooting team tonight. They're 20 of 22. Kings with this late flourish here have pushed their field goal percentage to 52% tonight. They're also 12 of 26, which is pretty stout from downtown. Good numbers for Luke Klaus and the Kings Summer League coaching staff. Jovic hits both free throws, 86-78. That puts an end to the 13-0 Sacramento run. We're just inside 5 minutes to play. Keegan Murray now drives it, hesitates in the paint, into traffic, flips up a shot that's off target, but he'll go right back to the free throw line. Henry, Bobby, Jason, we've all been talking about, the different look we've seen here in the California Classic from the aggressive standpoint from Keegan Murray. And again, he's been the man trying to create things on the offensive.
And G-Man, the one thing I like about this with Keegan Murray is that, when he was in the season, he would elect to take that three-point shot. He would just step out and take that three-point shot. Now he's getting into the middle. He's probing at the free throw line, and he's surveying. He's electing whether he's going to put the floater up or take that one more dribble, create the contact, and get to the basket.
He hits both free throws, so he's up to 36 now in this one. 13 of 15 at the free throw line. Kings lead by 10, 88-78. There's a push into the paint and a kick out pass to Jovic. He drives inside and rips down a 2-hand jam. Once again, exhibiting his versatility on the offensive end. Got a corner 3 fake, now launched by Colby Jones, comes up short. Rebound to Miami.
A little bit quick with that one.
Yeah, that was a quick shot. The whistle here as Jovic was trying to come down the lane, and another foul is called that's going to put him back at the free throw strike. This time it's on Colby Jones. Only 2 tournaments left in the Summer Sports Gaming Series. You can sign up for the MLB The Show tournament. Step up to the plate this Saturday, July 9th, to compete for a Kingsguard Gear Prize Pack. Grab your team, battle against fans and the MLB The Show influencer, Kreiner. You can register today. Join the community at kings.com/therealm. REALM, with a hyphen between the and the realm.
Jovic is about to be 23 points in 20. Oh, I just missed him. 22 points in 23 minutes. He's having a great game.
So 1 of 2 makes it 88-81. Kings lead by 7. Coming to the 4-minute mark here. Here's a double team on Keegan. Ball knocked out of his hands. Turnover Sacramento. And then the Heat had it knocked out of their hands, trying to drive in transition and hustling back and making a good play there. Appeared to be Jalen Slauson.
Yeah, and Keon Ellis, he gets his hands on so many balls. He just is a deflection king.
He is. Earned a great defensive reputation when he was playing college ball at the University of Alabama for the Crimson Tide. Now with 4 minutes to go, 21 on the shot clock. The inbounds pass goes to Gardner, who's back in. He gives to Jovic. Jovic has been a one-man band here in the last couple of minutes. He feeds it cross court to Audige. Swings it back out. Still plenty of time on the possession. Jovic step back, trying to draw a foul. The three is missed. Too strong. Back tap goes to Sacramento Slauson. Throws it ahead to Murray on the run. To the left wing to Keegan, or to Keon Ellis. A drive and a kick to the corner. O'Connell, can he do it again? This one is no good. But an offensive rebound. Grabbed by Colby Jones. Put back up and in.
There's your rebounding guard.
Great point. Colby Jones now in double figures with 11. We get a delay of game warning here on Sacramento. That makes it 90-81.
You know, Bobby Jackson was always so good at that. I've always loved guards who get back in there and don't mind mixing it up a little bit.
Well, so much talk during the recent free agency, and one of the sterling examples is Jason Hart, who now plays for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, Josh
Hart.
Yep.
I said Jason. Yeah.
Jason, the coach of the G League Elite.
He is probably the best active rebounding guard currently playing in the NBA. Would you say?
Yep, I would.
Teams have forced another turnover here. We're going to get substitutions. Kessler Edwards comes back on the floor. Let's see. Jordan Ford has come back in now. So we come to the 3-minute mark. Sacramento leading by 9 at 90-81. Jordan Ford on the right wing, freeing up, finding Keegan. Turns into a three and scores it. Wow.
Man,
Once
if he
again.
gets a look, it's almost like it's you just think it's going in every time he
6 of 11 from downtown in this game. Now has 39 points. We got a whistle here and a violation here as Justin Powell put the ball on the floor in front of the Miami bench and his back foot hit the sideline. So that turnover will give the ball back to the Kings after a timeout. With 2:44 to play, the Kings were outscored in the third quarter, giving Miami their first advantage at 61-59. Miami had a 2-point lead that they built to 3 early in the fourth quarter, and then Sacramento went on a 13-0 run, and it looks like they've got things back under control, leading by a dozen now on the Kings Audio Network.
The Golden One Member Cash Rewards Plus credit card gives you a little more of everything. More filling up your tank with 4% cash back on gas. And filling up your plate with 3% back on groceries, restaurants, and food delivery. More everything with 1% back on everything else. You get more with Golden One, so you can be more. Limitations apply.
NBA fans, the upcoming season is just around the corner. When it's time to get tickets to catch the Kings live, you'll find the widest selection available at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Sacramento Kings and the NBA. Even when the game is sold out, Ticketmaster can get you in with 100% verified tickets sold by other fans. So whether you're catching the Kings live here at Golden One Center or on the road, you can find tickets at Ticketmaster. Plus, with mobile tickets, you can easily transfer tickets to your crew, so getting in on game day is a breeze. When it's time to get tickets, head to Ticketmaster.com/NBA.
Take 5 for $5 with Capital Corridor. Buy one full fare ticket and take up to 5 more friends for only $5 each person each way. Valid on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Make it a day trip or a long weekend stay.
Serving Auburn, Sacramento, Oakland, San Jose, Davis, and Berkeley with connections to San Francisco and more. Enjoy our double-decker trains with room to stretch, free Wi-Fi, and a cafe car to sip and snack. Take 5 for $5. Your train, your way. Visit rideccrail.com. Restrictions apply.
Monday's attendance was 14,054. Attendance tonight, 12,933. So about 1,000 fewer bodies in the building, according to the count at the turnstiles. But the Kings fans enjoying a lead now, 93-81, after they thus far in this quarter have outscored the Heat 25-11. Talking about Keegan Murray, 39 points. By quarter, 14 in the first quarter, had 5 in the second, 13 in the third, and thus far 7 in this quarter.
Is inconclusive on video, therefore they're going to lose their timeout and the second challenge.
I missed the first part of that on Evan Scott's announcement there regarding a challenge.
He said it was inconclusive. I did hear that.
And then I heard him say that they lose their
timeout.
The timeout. So that would indicate that they had an earlier successful challenge. One of the other changes in Summer League for here and for Las Vegas is that if your challenge is successful, you will be awarded a second opportunity to challenge later in the game.
We mentioned Bobby Jackson earlier. Just wanted to get in that his Philadelphia 76ers won today, 104-94 over Utah.
So they're now 1-1 in the 2 games they were playing in Salt Lake City. Now we got a whistle and an offensive foul away from the ball. Called on Keegan Murray, was trying to free up along the corner baseline. Had a lot of turnovers in this game. 18 by Sacramento, 17 by Miami. He's had a pretty respectable turnover number of 14 in Monday's game in the win over the Golden State Warriors. See if the Heat can do here as Drew Smith feeds across court. Jovic, little motion now by Miami. Pass in the paint. It's broken up. Getting his hands on it and coming up with a steal is Slauson. Leads it out to midcourt to Jordan Ford. Ford now waiting to balance the floor and indicating a play set. Starts left, moves right, then gives it up to Slauson. Slauson on the logo, and he is bunched up there by Chase Outish. And so a foul called on Outish nearing the 2-minute mark. We're talking about the breakdown on the scoring by Keegan. In addition to those points from the field, getting to the free throw line 15 times. Henry, we'll get a chance if we get a slow down here or a free throw coming up. I want to ask you about how important that may be in helping his mentality of being creative. Now, this time against the double team, he commits a turnover, the ball stolen from the blind side, and it leads to a run-out basket for Jamal Cain. No, it's 93-83, and we're inside 2 minutes to go in this one. And a foul called here against the Heat. Alondis Williams was trying to make life uncomfortable for Colby Jones. Henry, what do you think about, we talked about his aggressiveness, Keegan Murray, once again, but getting to the free throw line 15 times, that's a big number.
It's huge, G-Man, and it's just another maturation of how he'd be able to score and give buckets for the Sacramento Kings. We know he can shoot the jump shot. Seeing him get downhill, now being aggressive, being able to create the contact and get to the free throw line, that's another 6-8 points a game for Keegan Murray.
Ford finds Keegan, drives into traffic, and his floater off the dribble is good again. How about 41 points now for Keegan Murray? Lob inside. Gardner in the low post turns. Shot comes up short. Keegan steers it over now to Slauson, and Slauson, that looks like a take foul at midcourt right there.
All right, now get Keegan out of there, and that's enough. You know what I mean?
Minute 17 to go. I think he's coming out. Keon Ellis is checking in. Yeah, here he comes. He should get a terrific ovation here from the Kings fans, and he does. Scott Moak last year with Keegan being the rookie popularized the call. He hollers out Keegan, and the crowd responds with the Murray, and they have worn themselves out tonight as Keegan has scored 41 points. Kings have the ball in the hands of Jordan Ford in the right wing. Hesitation. Probe brings it back out. Drops it off to Slauson. Only 3 in the clock. Got a launch on the way. It's off the rim, no good. And the rebound is cleared by Jamal Kane. We're in the final minutes of California Classic action. 6 games in 2 days. Been a rousing success, and the Kings well on the way to their second consecutive victory. Step back 3, Drew Smith rims out, no good. Slauson with the rebound, and with 35 seconds to go, Ford walks the dribble into the front court, gives it up to Slauson. Kings balance the floor, see if they will initiate a shot here or if Luke Laux calls them off. Right now, it looks like they're going to just play the clock now. 4 seconds to go on the possession. Not rubbing any salt in the wound, as the old saying from 100 years ago goes.
Well, if I was the referee, I would have called him for carrying the ball in the discontinued dribble about 5 times there during that while he was waiting to get that turnover for the shot clock violation.
That's my son. And boy, we're on the same chain of thought on that deal, because that is one violation that goes unchecked and uncalled constantly in the NBA. 10 seconds to go. The light the beam chant. They're not lighting the beam, we understand, I guess, in the Summer League action, unfortunately. But it's still a win nonetheless as the horn sounds for the Sacramento Kings. A 12-point victory over Miami at 95-83, highlighted by a 41-point outburst from Keegan Murray. He had plenty of help, Jason. 14 from O'Connell off the bench, 11 from Jones, 12 from Ellis in this one. And Miami made a push there in the third quarter, but the Kings answered right back, and that 13-0 run kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah, I thought that was impressive, too, because it got a little wobbly and shaky there for the Kings, but Keegan was the stabilizer, G-Man. And, you know, obviously there's guys here that are getting their first look at NBA action, but there was a plan here to play Keegan Murray and to make him aggressive. If that was the plan for 2 games, I mean, that's wildly successful. That was as aggressive as we've seen him. 41 points, the foul line attempts you were talking about, G-Man. He was brilliant.
He took 20 shots from the field, and he made 11 of them, and many of them were the shots that he created. Now, he did take 11 three-point shots out of the 20, so that leaves him with, 9 two-point attempts. And he was 5 of 9 from two-point range. So good to see him blossoming in that area. And whether or not we will see him in Las Vegas, yet to be determined, but I'm thinking we probably won't. But and that'll be disappointing for Kings fans. But my goodness, he was the star of the California Classic amongst all 6 teams who participate.
At 41 points, and I'm sure though there's still going to be a coach down there that's going to get on him for 1 assist and 6 turnovers. You know what I mean? So there's always things we can work on during the game. As Sasha Vazenkov, we see him down there
with Monty McNair walking up the floor.
Yeah, so a great game for Keegan Murray. Again, you would like to see him share it a little bit more and have a little bit more success in that assist-turnover ratio, but no one's going to argue with 41 points when you shoot 11 of 20 from the field and 6 of 11 from three-point range, 13 of 15 from the free-throw line. Man, that's getting it done.
Watching Vashenkov now as he heads toward the near tunnel with Monty McNair and greeting a lot of different folks here. You get a look at him, Henry. You can see that he's a good-sized fellow, the MVP of the EuroLeague this last year, and he's got some serious credentials coming to Sacramento.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's played with men, and he's been very successful. He's a lefty that can stretch the floor, and he can get to the basket and handle. You know, he's definitely something that the Sacramento Kings need, another stretch forward that can get it done.
I know. I go back, Jason, to the last regular season. There were multiple times that I had an opportunity to chat in particular with Wes Westcox, the assistant general manager. And I would frequently ask him, you know, what do you hear about Vazenkov? What have you learned? One thing, he was all but drooling about how good he would be in a Sacramento Kings uniform. And I asked him I said, well, how is he on the defensive end? And he said, well, that's going to take some work. So it wasn't quite the same encouragement that he was getting, but he was literally getting rave reviews. And I think that was certainly evidenced by the fact that the Kings on 5 different occasions that we're aware of sent somebody to Europe to see him play in Greece and to see him play in the tournament action down the stretch. And he delivered. And he had what we feared, Bobby, was a very serious knee injury in one of those games. but he was able to come back the next game and he continued to play. So he showed some toughness too.
Again, I've only had a chance to see him a couple of times in EuroLeague play, but I liked what I saw, and the efficiency numbers certainly are there. He backs that up, not just with the eye test, but with what he's able to do. If you're data informed, you would definitely say this is a guy who has something to contribute to this team. So, and from everything we've heard as well, a good guy, a guy who should fit in with the chemistry, is easy to like, and should get along with his teammates, not a diva coming in here trying to shake things up.
It was interesting, Jason, on social media earlier today, there was a picture that De'Aaron's wife, Risay, took in the workout facility of De'Aaron standing alongside Vezenkov. And, man, just like that, social media took off. I mean, there were so much reaction to it, and I think it's very, very positive. And I think Kings are going to be excited at what they see, and we're all intrigued by what he'll be able to legitimately contribute.
Yeah, if there's a DNA type player that Monty and that front office look for, it looks like position versatility, but they are going to lean shooting. I mean, they're looking for shooters, and that's where this league is. You space the floor with Fox and Sabonis, put shooters around them. I think that's a big part of why Sasha's going to be here.
And let's remember, the Kings set NBA history last year with their success on the offensive end of the floor. They put up numbers that were totally uncharted in NBA history. So it certainly looks like they're going to be right on that path. And I think Mike Brown is just sitting somewhere rubbing his hands together saying, can't wait till September for training camp to open.
That's right. It's almost here.
Yeah, it won't be here before we know it.
Quick. I know it needs to be here quicker, but we still got a summer league in Vegas to go to. All that's official in Vegas is the Kings are guaranteed 4 games, but this is a team that's won a couple of summer league championships, and I think they take pride in that, which they should. I mean, you're still competing, and if you can win any kind of title, you take it.
And now, as we had talked earlier and Bobby had pointed out, I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see, okay, if Murray does not play in Las Vegas, how do the Kings adapt? How do they make up for? He scored 80 points in 2 games. 70 points. I'm sorry. 70 points in 2 games for Sacramento, 29 on Monday and 41 tonight.
Yeah, and the shot distribution, he had 20 shots, and the next highest was Keon Ellis with 8. I do want to give a quick shout out to Keon Ellis, though, because we always talk about this, but defense is literally half of the game. Offensive stars get the highlights. Take a look at that plus minus in the box score tonight. Plus 19 for Keon Ellis, whereas the guy who scored 41 points was only a plus 2. It's weird how that works out sometimes. Also, a shout out to Alex O'Connell tonight, who I thought was brilliant. His quick release on the jump shot, catch and shoot, 14 points, a plus 17 in the box score for his timely contributions.
Good stuff right there. Kings had 11 steals tonight, had 10 steals in the first game against the Warriors. So a lot of good things shaking out there. And now, Jason, the first action for the Kings will be Friday night in Las Vegas, Cox Pavilion against the Atlanta Hawks. That'll be a 7:30 game. It will not be broadcast on radio, but all games from Las Vegas will be televised. You may have to, search a bit here and there, but all games will be televised. So that's good. And it's we all look forward to it. We get excited about it because literally now you got 30 teams there playing 8, 9, 10 games a day. It's crazy.
When they first started, they had 6 teams that would come to Vegas, and it's grown from that to 30. So
the whole league.
It is fantastic. And finally this year, the Portland Trail Blazers are adding a G League team. So now we actually have all 30 teams with a direct affiliate into the G League.
That'll be a first.
There's a few different things going on there. Every team's getting to add a third 2-way player in this offseason. So that'll add a little bit more to the depth and give some more opportunities, 30 more opportunities for players to get themselves locked into NBA.
And we've said it before, if you haven't had a chance to go, get there, even if it's for a day, for the weekend, or like Bob Gerald, who's there for basically every game of every day, both gyms if he can. You're there for the duration, aren't you?
I'm a Vegas lifer. I'm a junkie. I have issues.
There's programs for that.
I admit it. There are. There's a lot of people I talk to too. I was talking to James Ham earlier tonight, and he's like, I hate Vegas Summer League.
You're like, I want more of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, this was fun, and we'll see you in Vegas. Enjoy your summer, and let's get ready for more Kings basketball.
Jason, thank you. Thank Henry, Deuce, all these folks. I mean, that make it happen. It's a real treat when I get a chance to sit alongside my son and we get to talk a little basketball in a little more relaxed fashion here. And that's good. And I want to thank the folks at KHTK And I want to thank the folks within the Kings organization for making that happen. So,
Me too. I appreciate the opportunity. It is great fun.
Yep.
Great work, guys. Good job by the Kings. Great work by Keegan. Murray goes for 41. Sacramento wins this one by a final of 95-83. For RJ DeSanto, our engineer out here, Nate Littlefield back at our studios. Dave Deuce Mason celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday,
Deuce.
Yes, happy birthday to Deuce. For the high flyer, Henry Turner. For Bob Gerald. For the G-Man, Gary Gerald, I'm Jason Ross. That's it. Kings get the win in the California Classic tonight. Go 2-0 with a 95-83 win over the Heat. You heard it right here on the Kings Audio Network. See ya.
Your home is the place where you know your loved ones are secure. But the things that keep your home protected can't keep pests at bay. That's where RAID comes in. For 60 years, RAID scientists have worked to protect people around the world with trusted research, ingredients, testing standards, and product efficacy. RAID seeks to create a better future for all, especially the ones you love most. RAID, protection for all.
Hey, it's Nick Cattle suggesting you celebrate your 4th of July the right way with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Our Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned us into pros. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. Built different, built better, and built to last. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills, now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories. Now is the time to take care of your 4th of July.
Prestige line comes with a lifetime warranty. Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Let's talk about something dirty, something nobody ever likes to talk about. Litter. Yes, as in trash. Nobody likes to talk about it. Nobody likes seeing it. But then there's this thing called reality. And the reality is, in California, litter is a huge problem. Look, we're all in this together. So remember, it's all of our responsibility. Do your part. If somebody drops the ball, pick the litter up. Throwing away trash properly is a slam dunk. Let's clean California together. Brought to you by Caltrans and cleanca.com.
The Golden One Member Cash Rewards Plus credit card gives you a little more of everything. More filling up your tank with 4% cash back on gas. And filling up your plate with 3% back on groceries, restaurants, and food delivery. More everything with 1% back on everything else. You get more with Golden One, so you can be more. Limitations apply.
NBA fans, Ticketmaster would like to welcome you to the California Classic. As you get ready to see some of the NBA's most exciting teams hit the court live, remember that the upcoming season is just around the corner. When it's time to get tickets to see the Kings live this season, you'll find the widest selection of tickets available for every game at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Sacramento Kings and the NBA. Even for those sold-out games, Ticketmaster can get you in with 100% verified tickets sold by other fans. When the time comes to get tickets, head to Ticketmaster.com/NBA.
Brett Favre. And in terms of active quarterbacks, Tom Brady had the longest one. We know, at least for now, he is retired. So it's amazing when you consider right now there's no quarterback that has a longer active starting streak than 77 games. That is literally 1/5 of the career starting streak of Brett Favre. And you talk about what he was able to do and how he was able to do it in the era of which he did it in. The ball moves quicker now. There are rule changes that are a lot more beneficial to quarterbacks for keeping them upright. You know, when Brett Favre first started with the Falcons, for God's sakes, even before his Packers days, you could drive a quarterback into the ground, and there was no such thing as a 15-yard penalty at that point. So the fact that the rule changes have really benefited quarterbacks now, the fact that Favre was doing this 30 years ago makes it even more remarkable. And Brett Favre had this to say on the streak, courtesy of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
I mean, I'm not going to bed at night thinking or saying my prayers that no one breaks it. But it does mean a lot to me. I think someday someone will break it. It will be tough. And as you have to be to hold that record. Mentally, physically, you have to be tough. You have to be hard-headed. You have to be a little bit insane at times too. And so when I was hurt, it was even more of a challenge to me to not just play, but just play at a high level, because people are, hey, this guy's crazy, and if he plays, he won't play. It's going to be ugly.
We have Brett Favre's 297 straight regular season start as the fourth greatest streak in North American professional sports. What comes after number 4?
Number 3.
Okay, Andrew Scarpacci, I'm going to put you on the spot for 1 second. I want you to be honest now with our audience. Have you heard of a guy named Edwin Moses?
Not till you mentioned him the other day.
So, one of the most formidable, I appreciate your honesty there, Scarpacci. One of the most formidable, and how come you not heard of Edwin Moses? Okay, I digress. One of the most formidable and awe-inspiring streaks of all time was from 1977 to 1987. Edwin Moses came out on top. Make sure you were taking notes, Scarpacci. I'm going to review you on this at some point. 122 straight races he was able to not just compete in, but win. That's over the course of an entire decade. 107 of those were in finals. Edwin Moses was not just a great 400-meter hurdler. He was a complete dominating force. There's no other way to get around it. What you talk about in terms of those wins, 2 Olympic gold medals, should have been a third, by the way, but of course we boycotted the 1980 Olympics. And in 1984, he certainly found himself back on top at the medal podium. What doesn't get talked about enough, when he was knocked off in 1987, in the 1988 Olympic Games, his times were actually faster than when he won gold in 76 and 84. You are not supposed to peak in track in your mid-30s, but this, again, is an all-time great athlete with an all-time great consecutive streak. What's even more impressive about him that no one ever talks about when it comes to Edwin Moses, he was the brakeman for the U.S. bobsled team in the early 90s, winning a bronze medal. And what's even more impressive about him is what he has done post-career in terms of on the track and on the ice. He received an MBA from Pepperdine University, and he, to this day, is engaged in so many social justice issues. And if you look at him, you would not be off if you thought he can still go out there and compete, even in his 60s. This is one of the most unique, most underrated athletes in the history of sports. 122 straight races, he was victorious. Doesn't get talked about enough. Here is the great Edwin Moses on that race streak. This is courtesy of the Guinness Book World Records.
I was the world record holder on 4 separate occasions in the 400-meter hurdles from the United States of America, and won 2 gold medals and a bronze. And I think my biggest world record is probably winning 122 straight races over 9 years, 9 months, and 9 days. Well, in 1976, when I went to the Montreal Olympics, I was an underdog. However, I knew what I was capable of doing 4 months to the day. Before the Olympic gold medal performance, I ran the 400 hurdles for the first time. And so I had a plan that was no one knew about. I caught the world by surprise and broke the world record on that day. As a world record holder, it's very difficult to improve because you've done something that no one else has done before. And by definition, a world record in your mind and a competitor's mind is so powerful that you don't even know if you'll be able to do it again.
Edwin Moses, 122 straight wins in the 400-meter hurdles. He is number 3 in our greatest streaks ever in sports. So what comes next?
Number 2.
All right, number 2, we got to go back more than 80 years. It is one of the most famous streaks we have in all of professional sports. It belongs to the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio, back in 1941, where he broke Willie Keeler's streak of 45 games at the time, and that took place in the 1800s. The closest that anyone has come to Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak was in 1978, a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame, Charlie Hustle, a.k.a. Pete Rose. And in the last 40 years, nobody has even eclipsed a 40-game consecutive hitting streak from 1941, from May 15th to July 17th. That's more than 2 months, obviously, for anyone keeping track at home. Joe DiMaggio didn't just hit safely in every single one of those games. He was dominant. 15 home runs, a .408 batting average, 55 RBIs to boot in that time frame as well. You talk about the degree of difficulty when it comes to hitting a baseball at any level, let alone the major leagues. Everything has to go right against an opposing team for that to take place. He did it, again, in 56 straight games. Since the turn of the century, there have only been 5 hitting streaks that have even gone more than 30 games. You think about the pressure that comes with getting to 35, 40, 45, 50. I sound like Chris Berman, but you get the point. To get to 56 games in terms of reaching base safely, I don't know if that ever comes close to getting done in our lifetime. This is the MLB Network, of course, paying tribute to that hitting streak, and, of course, the Yankee Clipper. Take a listen.
Chosen Joe DiMaggio has made plenty of baseball history. Back on July 2nd, 1941, for example, his bat smashed Wee Willie Keeler's record of nearly half a century for safe hits in consecutive games. With a line drive into the stands, Joe turned a new page in baseball history. He made it 45, but he didn't stop there. DiMaggio finally came through with safe hits in 56 consecutive games. That's an all-time record set by the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio.
Folks, number 6, when it comes to greatest streaks ever in sports, I got Wayne Gretzky scoring 51 points in a game. That's remarkable. 51 straight games of registering at least a point. Y'all know number 5. You know number 4 at this point. You know number 3. You know number 2. What are we missing? What are we omitting? What are we leading off? Number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2. There's a certain individual when it comes to playing in every single game for the better part of a decade and a half that we have not alluded and paid homage to. Who is that? You're going to have to tune in on the other side. Number 1, who is the greatest streak in the history of sports? This is David Shepard in for JR on the JR Sport Brief. We're going to take your calls. Number to get aboard, 855-212-4BBS, 855-212-4227. Who are we leading off? Who is your top 6 when it comes to the greatest streaks in all of sports? Again, this is David Shepard in for JR, taking your calls on the other side, and the big reveal as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333. Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The King season might be over, but Sacktown sports coverage never stops.
Guys on other teams, when they look at the Sacramento Kings, they feel that this is a fun brand of basketball to play.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
For the launch of Flex Power Tools at Fastener's Tool Outlet. Come on down Saturday, July 15th for a one-day Flex Tool launch party. Witness live demos, score unbeatable deals on all Flex products, and get a free 3.5 amp hour 24-volt battery with every kit purchase. Grab a rear handle saw kit with a free 10 amp hour battery for just $299. Power up with Flex at Fastener's Tool Outlet. Don't miss it. Saturday, July 15th at 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Hi, I'm Barbara, and I work for social services. On our lobby wall, there's a picture of this kid I used to work with. She's all of 17 years old, and she's on one of those missing posters. Unfortunately, that happens to a lot of our kids who don't have somebody to step up for them. They stay in foster care for years, they aren't adopted, and they age out. They either wind up in jail or they live on the streets.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption works every day to find safe, permanent homes for children at risk of aging out of foster care before it's too late.
I adopted 2 teenagers from foster care. Their outlook on life changed. If I can do a little bit to help, it's worth it.
You can help too. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Trey Lyles, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief on CBS Sports Radio.
I just want to start off by saying you're one of the best in the game, man. I really enjoy listening to the show.
I love the show. I discovered it last year when there was actually no sports going on, and I'm loving it ever since.
I genuinely love your show. Your takes are great. I may not agree with all of them, but they're on point.
Call in now at 855-212-4CBS.
Welcome back, everybody. David Shepard in for JR on the JR Sport Brief here on CBS Sports Radio. We got our regular Wednesday top 6 list, and y'all know the drill. 855-212-4CBS. That is 855-212-4227. So Joey Chestnut, for the second time, has won 8 straight contests at the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog contest. And so he is the greatest to ever be a competitive eater. It is a Super Bowl of competitive eating. There's no denying that. But it had me thinking, what are the greatest streaks in sports history? So to recap, not going to go into the full descriptions, but to recap, number 6, I got Wayne Gretzky scoring a point in 51 regular season games. Number 5, I got John Wooden and the UCLA Bruins winning 7 straight national titles. Number 4, Brett Favre, 321 quarterback consecutive starts, 297 if we're just including the regular season. Number 3, I got Edwin Moses winning 122 straight races. 2 of those came at the Olympics. Should have been 3. Had the U.S. not boycotted the 1980 Olympic Games, I certainly will not punish Edwin for that. Number 2, Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak back in 1941. He happened to bat .408 with 15 homers and 50-plus RBIs. And so that means there is one we have not got to yet. What's that number again?
Number 1.
That's right. The greatest streak in all of sports history is a number that is synonymous with greatness in not just baseball, but professional sports. 2,632 consecutive games played for Cal Ripken Jr. This lasted from May 30th, 1982 to September 19th, 1998. Again, I'm going to repeat this, 2,632 straight games. Now, all due apologies to Lou Gehrig, an iconic baseball player, some would say an even better ambassador off the field. Lou Gehrig, his original streak, was at a much easier position, that being first base. Now, nobody in the history of baseball outside of Lou Gehrig even eclipses half of the amount of starts as Cal Ripken Jr. He is the ultimate Ironman. The modern day Ironman, you can make an argument, is Whit Merrifield, played for the Royals. That's the longest streak we've had in the last 20 years. That was 553 straight games. That is less than 1/5 of what Cal did 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years ago. It's remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable when you consider the innings, not just the games, the innings, 8,243 straight innings, shattering the previous record of 5,152 innings. In fact, the only reason he came out, I'm sure people will appreciate this, was the Orioles just happened to be trailing in that game 17-3. And at the time, the manager was his father, and he took him out. It's just remarkable when you consider that 27 Hall of Fame position players in the sport of baseball have not even eclipsed 2,632 games for a career. Ripken started those consecutive games. He has played alongside more than 150 Orioles teammates during that streak. He accomplished this under 8 different managers. Of course, the late, great Cal Ripken Sr. was one of them. When you talk about the amount of pain you have to endure, when you talk about the professionalism you have to have instilled, able to play through severe injury multiple occasions. There was that bench clearing, brawl back in the 93 season when he had severe knee stiffness. It didn't matter. He was going to break Lou Gehrig's record, which at the time, by the way, was 2,130. Ripken did not just break this all-time great record. He shattered it, playing an extra 3 seasons at the most difficult position in all of baseball. And so when you talk about Cal Ripken Jr., it's remarkable when you consider the greatest streak ever in all of professional and amateur sports. Here's what we're going to do. Number to get aboard is 855-212-4CBS. That is 855-212-4227. In honor of Joey Chestnut winning 8 straight Nathan 4th of July hot dog contests, what to you is the greatest streak in all of sports history? Do you agree with my list? Gretzky at number 6, Wooden at number 5, Favre at number 4, Edwin Moses at number 3, Joe DiMaggio at number 2, and Ripken at number 1. Who are we leaving off? Who are we omitting? The number to get aboard again is 855-212-4CBS. That is 855-212-4227. Marco, is there one that comes to mind that you would add to this list when it comes to the greatest streak in sports history?
It's hard without looking it up off the very top of my head. No, there's nothing that
you
is
like my
glaring.
list is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's nothing glaring that jumps. I'd probably put DiMaggio at 1, but we're nitpicking at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though Rose was relatively close in the late 70s? I mean, I'm not saying close, but here's my question for you. What is more likely of getting broken? 56 games in terms of a hitting streak, or 2,632 starts consecutively as a baseball player, let alone the toughest position in all of baseball? Apologies to catchers out there.
Well, it's not. But look, neither one of them are going to be broken. Yes, the Ripken one is not going to be touched. That's like Cy Young with 511 wins. I get it. Because no one will allow you to come anywhere near it. It is humanly possible to have a 57-game hitting streak. It's not going to happen, but it's humanly possible. My rebuttal to that would be there were plenty of times where Ripken played, and while I understand he was battling through whatever nicks and pains or whatever, he didn't necessarily have good days. That was allowed. DiMaggio's is can't
have a bad day.
No.
Right.
It's more on your merit. It's more on what you're doing. Now, Ripken deserved to play because he was their best player for most of that time. However, there were plenty of times where he had bad seasons where he kept playing because he was healthy enough to play, but he wasn't helping the team in any way on the field. So that's the difference for me, which is why I would put DiMaggio over the top.
All right. I mean, that is a very good explanation when you consider the fact that so much skill has to go into, so much right has to happen in order to attain 56 hits consecutively. It's unbelievable considering, Mr. Keeler was the guy in the 1800s. He was the only one to eclipse even 40 at that particular time. So DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak, to Marco's point, batted close to 410, had over 10 home runs, had over 50 RBIs. He was historically great in that streak. And obviously in that 1941 season was also famous for a lot of other reasons. Ted Williams had something to do with that as well. Last guy to bat over 400. That is not a streak, but that is something that I believe is more likely to happen than someone ever coming close to Cal Ripken's 2,632 consecutive starts. And it's amazing when you consider the fact, I know Marco might disagree with this. By the way, I didn't tell you this. We had a caller the second after you left. Okay. The next segment. You know what he said our argument was? You know what it reminded him of?
What's that?
Mike and the Mad Dog. Okay. Andrew, if I'm lying, like lightning makes strike. Is that what he said?
I just think it's yes, it is.
So that's pretty.
So he's obviously from New York.
So that's pretty high praise, folks. Speaking of Mike and the Mad Dog and iconic duos, I'm very curious to see and hear what you have to say. What is the greatest streak in sports history? Marco has Joe DiMaggio at number 1 with his 56 hits. I got DiMaggio at number 2. I got Cal Ripken, of course, 2,632 straight games at number 1. Who am I leaving off? Who are we not giving proper homage to? Who are we not honoring? Who are we not listing? Again, phone number to get aboard is 855-212-4CBS. That is 855-212-4227. We're going to take your calls on the other side. It is a new edition of JR's Top 6 list, greatest streaks in sports history. Before we do any of that, let's get to the aforementioned latest CBS Sports Radio update with Marco Belletti.
CBS Sports Radio. Sports Flash.
All right, Chet Mavericks continue to tinker with their roster in the hopes of getting over the hump. Reportedly acquired Grant Williams from the Celtics as part of a 3-team deal with the Spurs. San Antonio gets back Reggie Bullock, a pick swap with Dallas in 2030. Boston gets a couple second-rounders. Dallas reportedly agreed to a 4-year extension with Williams as well, $53 million. New Bucks head coach Adrian Griffin with some news about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He had a routine surgery on his left knee, and it went great. Everything went as planned, and we expect him back ready to go in training camp.
So nothing too concerning. However, status for the FIBA World Cup, that is uncertain. NBA will also unveil the details on Saturday, their first ever in-season tournament, reportedly being held in Las Vegas, December 7th through the 9th. Magic promotes Anthony Parker to general manager, takes over for John Hammond. Checking baseball, only one game still going. They're at the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers with a 6-4 advantage on the Pirates. That's courtesy of a go-ahead 3-run shot from J.D. Martinez. Meanwhile, big night for Pablo Lopez and the Twins.
And the 3-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging on a changeup. And Pablo Lopez, a new career-high 12-strikeout gem so far tonight here at Target Field.
Lopez went the distance, struck out those 12 as the Twins silenced the Royals 5-0. Call courtesy Twins Radio Network. Elsewhere, the Mets scored twice in the 9th. They stunned the Diamondbacks 2-1. Astros bounced the Rockies 6-4. Orioles took out the Yankees 6-3. Red Sox doubled the Rangers 4-2. Braves up the Guardians 8-1. Sean Murphy 4 hits, including a homer. Padres beat the Angels 5-3. Manny Machado went deep, drove in 3. Reds overpowered the Nationals 9-2. Marlins outscored the Cardinals 10-9. Phillies beat the Rays 8-4. Cubs up on the Brewers 4-3. And the Giants blanked the Mariners 2-0. Mike Trout is out 4 to 8 weeks. This after successful surgery on his wrist. Yankee reliever Jimmy Cordero suspended for the remainder of the season. That includes the playoffs for violating the league's domestic violence policy. Florida quarterback Jalen Kitna, son of former NFL quarterback John, 5 felony child pornography charges dropped against him. This as part of a deal that resulted in him pleading no contest to 2 misdemeanor counts of breach of the peace. There is no jail time. He will get 1 year probation. I'm Marco Belletti.
CBS Sports is everywhere, at home, in your car, and of course on your phone and tablet. Find us on your local affiliate, Sirius XM Channel 158, or the free Odyssey app.
CBS Sports Radio.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.